Hey gang, this week I want to talk about, or I want to continue my yearly theme of inner development and talk specifically about a case study that you might relate to. And at the end of that, I will give you some questions that you can use to reflect on your own inner self and where you're at in your work and your life. So I want to tell the story of a manager, Adia. Adia currently works in an AI software company who are developing a new product. And she is at a crossroads in both her career and her life. She was originally from Chennai in India, but now lives in Australia and was brought up to value education, qualifications, logic, and doing the right thing. Um, Her parents were from a generation that wanted security for their children, encouraged all their children to either to follow the rules, to apply themselves, to work hard, hoping that one day they'd all become doctors, engineers, or lawyers. Addie on the outside really wanted to please her parents. However, on the inside, she had a secret passion. She loved manga, drawing and cartooning. And any time she got free, in fact, when she wasn't studying and sort of tied to her desk, she spent most of her time daydreaming and designing new characters and cartoon layouts and narratives for how these characters would interact with one another. Her parents, she couldn't hide it. Her parents knew of this passion for cartoons, but they just assumed that one day she'd sort of wake up to herself and realize that her desire for security and certainty and a career and money would win out. And right now, Adia is faced with one of the biggest dilemmas that she's ever been faced with in her life. That is making uh, that has brought her to a crossroads. She's faced with the choice of ambition over desire. She's revered at work because of her sheer intelligence, her creativity, and her capacity to get things done. And she's on the talent track for senior management. So, to the fact that recently, or to the point that recently she was so far up on the talent track that she was offered a position on the executive team. Inside, Adia knows that work isn't her passion. Sorry, her current work isn't her passion. That she is different in small ways to many of the people around her in a team and above. She looks above and she says, you know what, I value aspects of their intelligence, their creativity, their way of solving problems, but she feels different to them and she wants different things in her life. She can do the job really well and it exhausts her. She feels like she's always giving more than she can to keep up and live the life that she was meant to live. Adia, at her heart, lives many of her days with a disconnect between her own authenticity, her being self, and her actions, her doing self. It's almost like her doing self is controlled by the conditioning of the outside world, and her being self is crying out for her own authenticity and something different. Recently, in a during a really difficult down period where she couldn't see purpose in her life, she started doing meditation and yoga retreats as a treatment for her ongoing and up and down battle with depression and anxiety. And she started to reflect on who she really is and what she really wants. It takes a lot of courage from her. And over time, there's been tears and a letting go of old conditioned ideas of what she should be. As you're listening to this, I'd like you to reflect on your own authenticity, your own being, and is it aligned with what you do on a daily basis? So, questions that you might want to reflect on if you stop the video and you can journal the answer to these. What is your own inner identity? So on the the inner plane, what makes you unique. And on a daily basis, what gives you the most energy? And take time to really journal around some of the answers to those things. And then just as you reflect on how you've got to where you are, what beliefs have you agreed to from your past that have got you where you are, that have driven your decisions? And which of these align with that inner authenticity? And which of those conflict with your inner authenticity? And where you see those areas of alignment and those areas where they conflict, just start to journal around why that might be. You, like Adia, have were born to have choice. What is available to you is an incredible life. And a lot of that is about trusting your heart and trusting who you are and aligning your doing with your being self.